Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Not bad.
Not bad. Still kind of early, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we have any questions to start off with this morning before we get started while we're waiting for a few more people to come in? Questions about any of the material?
Are we going over midterm today?
We are.
Then what are we gonna do on Tuesday?
Chapter 6.
Okay. So we're having our midterm review earlier.
Yeah, we're gonna go over the midterm already this today, and then I'm gonna give you guys a choice of either having chapter 6 included in the midterm, or you can put it off until the final. So I'll give you guys that choice.
Is the final? Oh, I'm assuming it's not cumulative then, right?
The final is not cumulative because your project is. So there's really no need for the final to be that way.
Okay.
Hey, Professor, good morning.
Good morning, Gabriel. Look, Frances is still in Chicago. She hasn't moved yet. Okay, we got about 82 out of 108 so far, so I'll give you guys a few more minutes. So any other questions about the final, the midterm, or any of the content that we're going over? No? Okay. Shall we get started? All right. So on this week's agenda, we're going to finish up the differentiation advantage and the market segmentation part of it. Talk a little bit more about my favorite company, Facebook, and prepare for the midterm, and then go over what's doing, what's new, and do any questions and answers. All right. Oh, I have a special announcement. So any of you that are interested in doing graduate school, the AGSM, Anderson Graduate School of Management, is taking almost all of the undergraduate students this fall because they don't get the 75% Chinese students coming over this year. So they need to make up the money somewhere, and they're taking anybody and everybody. They're waiving the GRE, the GMAT test, so you don't have to take that test to get in. The MBA program at UCR is in the top 100 in the nation, which is ranked pretty good. It was 89 when I was there, and I got my MBA from AGSM. Patrick Latimer is your contact. That's his email address. I also post the slides. And if you email me that you're interested in it, I will email Patrick and do an introduction to you, to Patrick to you. So any questions about that?
Do you know around how much it costs, the graduate program?
For you, $10 million. Everybody else, it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is right now. But Patrick would know exactly how much it is. And they're giving away a lot of money, by the way, and a lot of scholarships. So if you guys don't want to go into the workforce to compete with 7 million other unemployed people, then probably going to graduate school would be a good deal. Okay, questions?
So if they don't accept Professor?
Yes, I'm listening.
So if they don't accept GMAT, then they will just base on our current academic, based on.
I don't even think they're going to look at that. If you have higher than a B average, they'll probably just automatically take you
Ah.
on that. They don't, like I said, 75% of the graduate students are foreign graduate students. And because of what's going on with COVID-19, all of those students are stuck in their own countries and can't come to the United States to go to school. So the graduate students, the graduate classes are almost empty right now.
No wonder. I had like exchange friend and they just got into the grad school. I'm like, and then they didn't have to take the GMAT because they cannot take the GMAT.
You can't take the GMAT because it's done in a group setting or a GRE, yes.
Yeah, basically.
Yes, so they stopped doing that. So what are the colleges going to do? If they can't get the score, they're just going to waive it. So right now they're waiving it. So if you don't want to take the test and want to go to graduate school, it's probably a good deal.
But then, like, is that all universities?
I don't know.
Okay.
Good question. All right, are we ready to go on? Any other questions about this? And this slide is posted, and email me if you're interested. And then I will email Patrick. I know Patrick personally, so since I did go to school there. All right, moving on. So differentiation advantages, Facebook advertising suggested friends request. That's kind of a new thing within the last few years that Facebook has done. That kind of differentiates them from the others that are no longer in business that were their competitors. Okay. Differentiation strategies require a deeper understanding of the customer's need that cost-based strategies. So there's a whole marketing class on this that you can take that is really in-depth. That's really interesting. But today we're just going to kind of touch the surface on this. What this typically requires is customer segmentation analysis, consumption chain analysis, and taking data off of your phone, which we know Facebook is really good about taking data off your phone, don't we all know that? So last year in October, my wife had a birthday party and we had it at Mission Inn. So my brother-in-law takes a picture of us, posts it on Facebook, and then Facebook sends me this notification that it recognized me through face recognition on software. So Facebook was caught collecting text histories and Android off of Android devices, and they got sued over that too. So, but I thought that was kind of funny. I got a notification that my brother-in-law posted a picture, and he didn't say who it was, but Facebook recognized my face and wanted me to tag myself. So, nice looking family, right?
Yes, it is. They do that all the time.
Well, yeah, they do it all the time, but they're not supposed to.
Oh, I see.
Without your permission. Of course, everybody clicks yes, okay. I want to use this app, so yes, I'll agree to everything. I agree to you use my location. I agree to you downloading all the contacts in my phone. I agree to, so basically whenever you use an app, you're agreeing for them to do all that stuff. Okay.
Like Snapchat.
Like Snapchat, yeah. Okay, so I'm just reading the comments. Yes, okay. So 15 years ago when Facebook came out, the biggest competition was MySpace and Friendster. Okay, so how did Facebook differentiate itself to surpass the two? Basically, it offered greater exclusive privacy, simplicity, ability to share relationship status, and zero advertising, which we already went through. So Facebook has kind of evolved over the years. So what they've done, I like the Friendster logo the best. So what has Facebook done now? So for example, they're using facial recognition software. So they can connect you, your family, your friends, and everybody. Even though they're only going to show you 25 of your closest friends that you don't know information when you scroll through your Facebook site, right? So, okay, this is your time to participate. Who are Facebook's customers now?
Small businesses.
Small businesses. So they're doing advertising now.
Yep.
Okay, who are
Parents.
who?
Parents.
Parents?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Oh. See, my Google was eavesdropping on me. Oh. tell you, these smartphones are ridiculous. Okay, so we have parents. Why are parents say, Carolina? Parents are a customer of Facebook because,
I think their generation tends to lean more towards Facebook than any other social media platform.
okay, 40 plus. I know, it's so funny because, Facebook 15 years ago, all the kids were using it. It wasn't the old people, it was the all the kids, because it was new and it was exciting. And now you're telling me only the old people are using it. That's funny. Okay. So people over 30, yeah. Okay. So what's what are the younger generation on? Snapchat? What else?
TikTok.
Instagram.
TikTok, Instagram. So you guys are less concerned about content, more concerned about videos and pictures, right? Because reading is too hard. I'm just teasing you now.
Twitter has a limit of 140 characters for their tweets, so yeah.
And
there's less
Twitter,
reading.
so Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. So the technology is changing. Now, do you really see those as competitors to Facebook, or do you see those as accompanying Facebook in the segment?
In the same segment because I feel like it targets different people.
Okay. So it's not really a competitor then?
I mean, it still is. I think it's a competitor in terms of there's like overlapping customer bases, but I feel like Facebook now is like very much older people, and the younger people tend to lean towards like videos, pictures, like you said, like we don't really read too much, and then like low attention span as well. So it needs to like be fast and get to the point versus like Facebook, you have to read a bunch of posts from other people.
Yes, that you don't care about. Yes.
Yeah, Facebook has a lot of ads too.
Yeah, they do. So basically what you're trying to say is you want to read it, look at it for a few seconds, you're done with it, and then move on to the next thing.
I know that Instagram and Facebook are connected, so it is for Facebook. They just make it easier to publish.
Well, Facebook owns Instagram. But Instagram is trying to keep true to itself by just posting pictures and, hashtags, and that's about it. There's not too much content to read on Instagram or TikTok or or Snapchat or any of the other ones.
There's a saying that, once your parents figure out how to use Facebook, people just like the younger ones just go see on other social medias.
Well, that's what happened with what was it? MySpace. All the young ones were using MySpace, and then some of the parents got onto it and pretty much killed it. And then Facebook killed it. Because Facebook is very consistent, and the old people like me, we like consistency. Like we want to look at the same place, look in the same place every time, or stuff like that, as opposed to the younger generation that wants everything constantly changing. So we get old, we get lazy. What can I say?
Didn't Google at some point try to enter the social media space by having Google Plus, and they tried to make it something similar to Facebook, but it just never really like took off?
Yeah. So Facebook is pretty well entrenched. I don't foresee anything taking over Facebook anytime soon. I think I think almost everybody has a Facebook account. They may not always use it, but Facebook is going to be there as a backup, especially when you guys move out of your house, or the ones that are moved out already. You communicate with your parents. My wife uses Facebook to talk to everybody in South America, all her family down there. It's the one WhatsApp, I think, is also owned by Facebook. Yeah, WhatsApp, I think. So, and then they use that to communicate and send pictures and memes and all that other good stuff. So everybody's going to have some sort of a Facebook app to communicate with family and friends. But like you said, TikTok is the latest thing now, right? Short little videos. So, there's always going to be things like that, but I think it's always going to be a constant where Facebook is always in the background.
Yeah, and then Facebook or Google like make it easier to log in, when they ask you to create new accounts on certain apps, they give you the option, like you want to use Facebook or you want to use Gmail.
Yeah. So you can use Facebook or the Google, depending on what you have. So you can log into different apps that way or different websites. So yeah, that's another thing that they've done. But having all your apps on one password and one platform is not a good thing. You guys all know that, right?
They'll sell your information.
Well, not only that, but if somebody hacks your password, they got access to everything that you do. So, and then you guys also know that keeping your banking information separate is always a good thing. Yes, you guys do that, right? Your password is completely different on your banking information than on all your other apps. Yes, good.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So segment opportunities. So we got 3 different types of segment opportunities. So product attributes, feature of the product. We got customer demographics, attributes of the customer, and job to be done, attributes of the circumstance and the job to be done. So the features of the product, customer demographics, the attributes of the circumstances. So all of these are different ways that they segment the different customers. Okay. So for example, they use an example. You want a 1/4 inch hole. You want a 1/4 inch hole. You don't want to buy a drill and make it. You don't care about how it gets done. All you care about is the end result, which is a 1/4 inch hole. So going to the store, buying the drill is all, circumstances and all, but all you really want is a finished product. For example, they use also a wrinkled shirt. So instead of building a better iron or a better ironing board, you make wrinkle-free clothing instead. Okay, so those are the examples your book uses for this type of segment marketing. Okay. I'll make sure I got all my notes. Okay, so here we're talking about customer segmentation, and then these slides are actually whole classes on their own. So we're just scratching the surface of these. These are all marketing classes. Benefits of customer segmentation: more customer retention, establishes brand identity, leads to price optimization, improves channel of distribution, enhances competition, better customer relation, and best economies of scale. What they use, for example, of this is price optimization, is dynamic pricing. You guys are familiar with dynamic pricing, and also called surge pricing or demand pricing. Disney is a big user of this, and so is Uber. So basically what they do is when the demand is high, they adjust their pricing so they can charge you more. Okay, so the price is flexible. Like for example, the Disney Halloween Haunt, we've gone to it since the very beginning. Before nobody knew about it. Now the tickets sell out in a few seconds on the internet. And the tickets are always much higher and more expensive on the weekends as opposed to the weekdays. But places like Ticketmaster and all those others buy up all the tickets and charge like 10 times the price now, which is ridiculous. But anyway, that has nothing to do with it except for me complaining. Okay, so the popular times or the popular products or the high demand gets dynamic pricing, which is much higher than what they do normally. Like Uber, if you're at a convention, say in downtown San Diego, and you're going from the hotel to the convention center, the Uber pricing is going to be triple or double or triple at that time of day and night when people are going back and forth. Okay, questions about that? Okay, customer segmentation. Customer segmentation is the analysis of the customer's need to identify groups of buyers who are similar in the way they discriminate among and value product or service offerings. So basically, you want to group people together. By doing this, you can target them more effectively, and then you can, like, for similar, all of these people want similar things. And this is what the information that they're buying from Facebook. So everybody says, hey, I just bought a shirt off of Amazon for this particular thing. They said, oh, we got all of these people. This is their information. So we can target them more effectively. And so we're going to put them into one segment. Okay. Okay, so males between 35 and 45, purchase this type of shirt off of Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if they can group them all together, they can target them more effectively. Okay, so identify the objective to identify a profit and market share maximization strategy for each needed base customer segment to optimize, which we just spoke about. Okay. All right, so you don't want to oversatisfy the customer segment needs. For example, like the Uber, you're not going to send a limousine to shuttle these people back and forth. Obviously, the cost would be too expensive for that. And then you're not going to send the bicycle with the 4 seats on it to undersatisfy the market, because it's going to take them an hour to get to the hotel, and that's not going to work either. So you have to find out what your market segment wants and deliver that to them. All right, questions so far? Yes, no, maybe? Customer segmentation. Okay, so this is how the 10 ways they basically divvy up the segmentation of how they're going to do the marketing and what kind of behavior and the psychology behind it. So all of this is based in psychology and marketing behavior, which is another exciting class you guys should take. All right. I'm not teaching it, but take it anyway. All right. So purchasing behavior, benefits sought, customer journey, customer loyalty, interest base, engagement, and so on and so forth. Okay. So all of these elements go into targeting your market and segmenting. Questions? You guys bored yet? No, not yet. Should I give you a break? All right. So we're identifying key jobs to be done. Let me take a quick look at the chat and see what you guys are chatting about. Yes, it depends on demands on the Uber price. So the more the demand, the higher the demand, the more it is going to be. Isn't price surging illegal in some places? Yes, it is. Uber got sued and they won. The troll TikToks. All right. Any other questions? Yes, price gouging in times of crisis is illegal. It's actually illegal anytime. And you can report those people and they will get fined and sometimes arrested. Like the $10 roll of toilet paper on eBay. Yes, super price, okay. All right. So we will continue on. You guys ready? Victoria looks bored. She goes, yes, I am. Okay, so people don't want to buy a 1/4-inch drill. We already said that. What they want is a 1/4-inch hole. Okay, and Theodore Levitt is the guy who said it. Nobody cares. All right, so the solution, the job, well, the what and the why. All right, are we having fun yet? All right, so empathy, understand customers' functions, social and emotional jobs to be done. Get the job done by providing a solution that offers greater simplicity, convenience, cost, and access. So for example, in New York City, we have the taxi cab drivers, right? They never stop for people. They're rude. They're smelly, you know, all these millions of different things that you don't want to ride a cab. So what happens? They came up with Uber and Lyft. So they have the new technology. You do it on your phone. You don't have to flag a cab down, say, hey, 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 and nobody stops. So you know exactly who's going to pick you up now because they have the picture and the car and all that other good stuff of the driver. They have ratings for the drivers, right? So you know if the driver's rude, he's funny, he's, you know, whatever. So you got all this information now before you're taking your chance on the street trying to pick up a cab. All right, so this totally disrupted the whole new innovative technology and the whole new way that New York City used to drive cabs, and all cabs for that matter, in all different places. So you look for the jobs that are important, getting somebody from point A to point B. What is unmet about getting that job done? Smelly cab drivers who are rude that you don't want to talk to, and are crazy and you don't even want to deal with, and something that is very widely held or very widely done. So you come up with something like that, you will be the next billionaire. You'll be the next Uber. You will be the next Facebook. All right. Questions about that? All right. So identifying key jobs to be done through customer empathy and discovery, which we just talked about. A systematic jobs process can eliminate and difficult to architect customer needs, pinpointing opportunities for innovation, just like Uber. So Uber was a very disruptive innovation with technology, with a new way of doing things. Okay, jobs. You will need to know this. GOBS, Jobs Objective Barriers Solution, is a market research technique that makes innovative, effective, efficient, and predictable by systematically illuminating difficult to articulate customer needs. This is a long slide. All right. So basically, the jobs, objective, barriers, and solutions. So what is a job that needs to be done? Moving people from point A to point B. Objectives, you can either take a taxi cab with a smelly taxi cab driver. The barriers, for example, if you wanted to have a taxi cab in New York City, you needed to get the little placard, which costs anywhere of $150,000. Well, by using technology, Uber totally bypassed that. They don't have to have all the stuff that the taxi cab driver would need, and that would be the solutions to getting around all that. Okay, with the technology and not having to go by the same standards that the taxi cab drivers did. All right, so that's an example of that. Customers buy products and services to help them get jobs done. So the example of, I need a 1/4 inch hole, so I'm going to buy a 1/4 inch drill. Okay, so and that will get my job done. Job anchor the overall approach. When markets are new or flux due to disruptive opportunities, research can be framed around jobs. Okay, so the Uber example, they very disruptive. The opportunity was there, and so much so Uber and Lyft came in there too. As they said, hey, we see that Uber's doing a great job. We're going to go in there and get into this market also. Okay, so that's framed around jobs. When incremental improvements are sought in existing procedure, the job is likely clear and outcomes are the primary focus. So knowing that there's a market there, going in there, Uber and then Lyft saw, hey, we got an opportunity, let's jump on it. All right, questions about this so far? You guys look like you're in a daze. Okay, good. All right, customers use Matrix to find the successful execution of a specific job. These are their desired objectives. Design a solution that removes or circumvents barriers, will improve value or grow the market. It's still early for me, sorry. All right. Solutions include any products, services, method, technology, compensation, behavior users can choose from the job. Okay, so the solutions are, the products is the Uber. Okay, so the services is getting somebody to point A to point B. The method, technology, is using the phone app in order to do this instead of flagging somebody down or calling a cab. And the compensation behavior users can choose from get the job done. So basically they are getting the job done in a new innovative way. All right. Uber's a perfect example for this. This exercise does not work very well on Zoom, and I forgot to take it out, but I will briefly explain it to you because this is actually a class exercise. So basically, you're supposed to be a business and a marketing firm that markets milkshakes. So the company who makes milkshakes says, hey, we're not selling as many milkshakes as we should. Can you do some research for us and find out what our market is and how we can improve selling milkshakes? Okay, so they find out that commuters like milkshakes because it's an easy breakfast. It's not messy. It's easy to eat while they're driving. And then they also find out that the soccer moms like to give the kids milkshakes after soccer practice because it takes them forever to suck that ice cream through the straw. And so they're quiet for 10, 15 minutes and not yelling and screaming. All right. And then it just serves as a yummy treat. Okay. So basically what you're supposed to get out of this is the research of milkshake just isn't something that you eat as a treat. It serves as several different jobs. So it's emotional, social, and functional. Okay. All right, Net Promoter Score. You can fall asleep now because this is not going to be on the test, but I expect you to learn it. Okay. So the Net Promoter Score is basically another way to use to assess a company so they can do a competitive advantage. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. my Mercury insurance, I called them up and I said, hey, I'm not driving to work anymore. My insurance, you're charging me way too much. And they said, yeah, we don't care. We're going to give everybody 15% discount, and we don't care if you're driving 100 miles a day or not. We're not going to give you anything above 15%. I said, well, let me talk to your manager. The manager told me the same thing. And this was an agency. And I said, okay, fine. I'll just call the insurance company directly. And so I called the insurance company and said, well, what did your agency tell you? They said, well, they said they're not going to give me a discount and they're not going to change my mileage. And they said, yeah, that's about right. We don't care. We're not going to do that. So give us a call in June. We might adjust your mileage, but no, we're not going to do it right now. So I get an email saying, hey, why don't you give me a survey of what happened? So I said, okay, so this is what happened. I gave them a really low score, which is a net promoter score of below 6, which I gave them a 0 on everything. I get a phone call from Mercury Insurance. And they say, hey, what's the deal? You're not very happy with their service. Why? And I told him exactly. He goes, our agent will call you shortly. So 2 minutes later, the agent called and said, oh, we're sorry, Mr. Weigel. We didn't realize what was going on. Of course, so I mentioned the fact that I think this is illegal and I should contact an attorney and have start a class action lawsuit. I didn't mention that part. But anyway, I did mention that to them. And so lo and behold, I have $300 a month, or $300 every 6 months cheaper on my car insurance now. So that's the effect of a net promoter score in sum, to sum it up. Okay, so the net promoter score is how likely is that you would recommend company X or to company Y to a friend or colleague. So we've all had those surveys before, right? So if you're really mad on them, put 0 and somebody will get back to you, hopefully, if they're any good at their job. Okay, respond to answers on a 10-point scale, 1 meaning not at all likely, 5 neutral, 10 extremely likely, as illustrated in figure 5.2, which is this illustration here. This is in your book, by the way, so I'm just regurgitating information that you should already know. Classified customer who responds with a 9 or 10 on the question above is a promoter. So somebody who scores high is a promoter of your business. They're going to tell their friends and family about, hey, this company was great. Mercury took care of me. They gave me a $300 discount because I threatened to sue them and do a class action lawsuit. So they responded really nice to me. All right, so that's a promoter score of 10. Anyone who scores 6 or below is a detractor who's likely to steer others away from your company. So yeah, I called them, they were unreasonable, they didn't want to work with me, never do business with them again. Okay, so just like Norwegian Airline, never buy a ticket from Norwegian Airline. Just throwing that out there. All right.
What's the story behind that?
I promised them when I talked to them that I teach about 300 students a quarter, and I'm going to tell every one of them not to buy your airline tickets.
I'm not buying. Yeah, I don't ever plan on buying their tickets, but
because they treated me very poorly. They would not refund my money, even though I bought the insurance. And it was in the time I was supposed to go to France, and there was a time where France was rioting, so we didn't go, and they refused to refund the money. So I told them that's fine. I'm just going to tell everybody I know that not to buy your airline tickets.
Professor, about the insurance company, how much did they return per month or per year?
$300 every 6 months, so
Every 6 months.
$600 a year.
That's awesome.
Well, I drive 100 miles a day to work and back.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do now.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't done that already with your insurance company, do the adjustment. All right. So the scoring 7 or 8 are passive to calculate net promoter score, subtract the percentage of detractors from the percentage of promoters. Okay, so this is the formula. This is not on the test, so you can wake up now. All right, net promoter score equals percentage of customers who answer 9 or 10, percentage who answer 6 or below. Okay, so this is how you figure it out. All right, and this is in your book. All right, questions about the midterm? Okay, I did my due diligence. I bagged on Norwegian Airline. I told you promoter net score is not going to be on the quiz or on the midterm. What else you got going on? Questions, concerns? And I told you my story about Mercury Insurance. All right, so chapter 1, stakeholders. So we remember the SWOT analysis, right? Strength, weaknesses, which are internal. Opportunities and threats, which are external. All right, so let's see.
Is your story on Mercury Insurance going to be on the exam?
No, but that's a good one. I should put that on the exam as a bonus question, right? See who's paying attention. All right. So remember we did that little short clip on Nokia. General environment factors that affect profit potential of a business, substitute products. Okay, so how highly competitive the cell phone market is, right? All right. Questions about chapter 1, chapter 2?
I think I remember something about Nokia's cell phone. It's like their phones, they can break wood. I don't know, because of the material, unlike the new iPhones.
I'm sorry, was there a question?
There was just a comment about Nokia's phones, I remember.
I don't even think Nokia makes phones anymore in the United States.
I know, but I'm saying with like, owning one, if you like your parents own one, I remember that these phones were were like indestructible. Like their material is probably like hard and they could like break wood. Like it's like Thor's hammer or something.
Yeah, I had a Nokia phone and it's still in the garage, and I tried to go get it activated a couple years ago, because my other phone, I was in between, my other phone was messed up or whatever, I forget what it was. They wouldn't activate it because it didn't have a GPS in it. So they absolutely, the phone worked perfect. The phone was like 20 years old and it worked perfect. But the problem is they wouldn't activate it because it didn't have a GPS. So they couldn't locate me, or they couldn't track it.
I mean, you can just donate to a museum or something. That would be pretty cool.
All right, I'm not that old, thank you, but. All right, so chapter number 3 is all about rarity and competitive advantage. Remember we did the VRIO. Is it valuable? Is it rare? Inimitable? And is your company organized to take advantage of the current situation? Okay, so these are all your capabilities. Know it, read it, love it, learn it. Okay, cost advantage, know all 5. Learning curve, experience curve, and scale curve. Learn how to compare, contrast, and do all those good things together. Cost advantage, chapter 3, differentiation advantage. I'm sorry, cost advantage was 4, differentiation advantage 5. Okay. Creating differentiation in the marketplace, value chain. Yes, the whole thing. Who, what, where, how. Yes, know the whole thing. Yes, each little individual thing in between all the lines, know that. All right. So this is what you need to know. Got it? Got it? Got it? Sure.
Sir, what's the format of the test? Like, is it multiple choice? How are we gonna do the test?
It's a 1-page essay on each question. For you, 2 pages. It's a short essay answer. So,
okay, and how are we gonna do that on iLearn?
Yeah, you're gonna do it on iLearn. So everything's gonna be done on the format on iLearn. So you're gonna go through there, you're gonna take a test. You're gonna get an hour and a half to do an hour-long test. So no cheating.
Wait, so there's no multiple choice, just the 10 short answers?
No multiple guess for you. It's all essay. No true and false, 50-50, no multiple guess. It's all essay. So you actually have to know what you're talking about, and don't bullshit, get to the point quickly.
Are we allowed to use our notes and stuff while we're taking the test, or is this supposed to be like a closed note test?
The closed note, closed book, closed everything test.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be at your house watching you, so don't cheating. All right, VRIO, we just spoke about pastel, which is not in your textbook and is anywhere to be found except for from me. I didn't come up with this though. It's not my idea. All right, so know it, political, economic, social, technology, environment, and legal. All right, know that? All right, so midterm Thursday, April 30th. And this is the point where I ask you if you want to include chapter 6 or not. I'll take a poll on Monday so you guys can decide, because otherwise it's just going to tack it on to the end. It's going to be on your final. What's going on in the chat? How many total chapters are there? Right now there's 5. So we'll decide on Monday if you want to do 6. That's it, 100%. Yes. I know. If you can't tell, I'm very sarcastic. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, Tuesday. Many of you I have in my other class, so sometimes I get Monday and Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday and Thursdays mixed up. All right. Other questions? All right. So we got mini case, Nike Do, already posted the questions. It's been up there now for a while. These are the questions.
For the mini cases, should we be putting the questions on that document, or are we just answering everything in like an essay format?
Well, you would probably want to start with the questions and then answer them. And
But should we include the questions on that document?
if you're skillful enough not to do that, then no, you don't have to, but I doubt it. Watson will know what you're talking about if you do it correctly. All right. Questions, concerns? Ooh, we finally got 104 people. All right. Luke, you're always in your car. What's going on?
Back in Coronado.
All right. All right. Questions about anything? So we finished up quickly today, so you guys can work on all of this stuff, your mini cases and any questions that you may need. Do I have any questions about the MBA program? Anybody want to know about that? So either go back to school or compete with the 7 million other people that are trying to find jobs after this in the next 2 years.
Or you can incur more debt and you never know if you're going to be able to pay it.
That's true too.
Sometimes you just got to flip the coin.
Yeah, you guys are so young, you can be in debt. You're good.
Professor, what were you saying about the car insurance? That what we should do?
The car insurance, I'm not saying what you should do. I'm saying it'd probably be a good idea if you call your car insurance and say, hey, I'm not driving as much as I used to. For me, I drove 100 miles a day or more, going back and forth to work. And you know, Luke understands my pain. He's my neighbor, and he drives to UCR also. So I told him, hey, and they said, well, we put a freeze on everything. We're not changing anything. And then I got a little upset about that because they really can't do that. It's illegal. And so I told them, hey, I'm going to contact an attorney and do a class action lawsuit, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't care at the time, but then I did the survey and then somebody called me back and I told them exactly what I was going to do. And they said, okay, we'll have somebody call you. And they called me and they changed it. So never take no for an answer the first 10 times.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to know it.
Well, do you drive a lot?
What?
Do you drive a lot?
Not anymore.
Well, then your insurance should reflect that.
Okay. Thank you.
A friend of mine posted the list of the insurance companies. Each one of them is kind of offering something. Some of them, though, they are offering something only if you renew with them, which is not logical, which is mine.
Yeah, a lot of the insurance companies are offering 15% discount to everybody. But my discount to change my mileage was more like 25, 30%. So it was more than double what they were offering me on free will. You know, because all of the insurance companies are doing that. I noticed, I read an article where almost everybody is giving a discount to all of their customers, not just the ones that drive a lot. So, you know, some people it didn't affect, right? You know, some people work from home already. Students, you guys pay outrageously high insurance because of your age and you drive like shit, most of you. I'm just saying that from experience, driving up and down the 215, you know, Monday through Friday. 5 days a week, but just I mean, just as many bad drivers are old too, so don't take that personally. So I'm just saying, if you drive a lot, your insurance company is charging you, and you should change it if you're not driving as much anymore. Say, call them, and if they say no, ask for a manager. And if they say no, ask for somebody else. And if they say no, get creative like I did.
That should get some grades, some good notes on negotiation skills. Let's see who gets it.
I told everybody in my negotiations class, a lot of people did this. So a lot of people did that in my negotiations class, and they go, oh yeah, they said no like the first 3 times, and I kept on them. So, all right. Questions, concern, anything about the graduate school?
Yeah, Wyatt, don't mark me absent. I'm here.
Watson, make sure you mark him absent. He was late by 5 minutes. You missed the quiz too, Luke.
Looks like Watson is absent today.
Didn't want to be here either.
All right. Questions, concerns? All right. I'm going to excuse you guys. You guys can leave. I'll be here for a few moments to answer any questions you might have. I'm supposed to teach graduate courses next quarter, yes. I don't know which ones yet. The conversation kind of went like, yeah, I'm going to have you teach some management courses in graduate school. So I will let you know. That's what my boss said to me anyway.
Well, you better ask for a raise if you're teaching more classes, Professor.
I know, huh?
Use those negotiation skills you were just talking about to negotiate your contract.
That's comes from years and years of doing sales.
Is your company, you still have your, I forgot what industry you're in.
I'm in the office equipment industry.
Office equipment. Are you a distributor or are you a supplier?
We're a dealer. So we're dealing.
Okay.
P, Brother, Xerox, Canon, Lexmark.
Okay.
So you guys don't print. So, you know, you guys are not my demographic. If you need a printer at home, let me know. I'll ship one to you and charge you double.
You need a quarter, right? A fraction? Because we're college students broke.
Would give you a really big discount, yes. If you are serious, Miriam, email me and I will get some information from you and give you some options.
All right, Professor, have a good day.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll be around for a few minutes.
Hey, Professor, Watson takes the attendance, correct?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Yeah, because my mom used the computer yesterday, so I joined in as like Brenda Sanchez, not my name. So I just send him an email then.
Yesterday was a different class. Are you in my other class too?
Oh no, I meant my mom used my computer, so it was a different name when I joined today instead of my actual name.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure my attendance gets changed. I changed my name because I noticed like halfway through the class that I was using my mom's name. But
okay, so make sure you email him and let him know.
okay, perfect. Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hey, Professor.
Yes, Miriam.
Yes, I had a question. How would the graduate school work? Like, say, like financial wise, would they just offer you a package to take out a loan?
Most likely, yes. They're also giving away a lot of money, a lot of scholarships because they're hurting for students.
Okay.
So talk to Patrick. Email me if you're interested, and I will set up an introduction for you.
Yes, I'll email you.
Okay. Other questions? John, where you at? Are you still here? John Veen, V-I-E-N. Oh, there you are, John. John, I don't want to give you any advice about that, not because I don't care. It's because I'm not an attorney, and that's something I think you're going to have to talk to about an attorney. Or I would talk to somebody at UCR there. Talk to somebody in that department about your contract. If it's a general question, I'll help you, but I'm not going to give you any legal advice on that. Okay.
Yeah, that sounded bad when I said Watson doesn't want to be here either. So, no, actually, this is actually one of my favorite classes.
Oh, thank you.
It's nice too. Usually, you don't get a class where you get to even be at the beach and enjoy.
Where are your other classes?
My other class, negotiation, business 101, and business 140, 144. It's corporate conflict management.
All right. Any other questions?
Hi, Professor. I have a question about the AGSM master's program.
Yeah.
We were
All right,
to.
thank you.
Thanks, Luke. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
If we were to apply, tell you we're interested now and apply, would our tentative start date be next year? Because the application's open to apply in November.
I'm not sure how that's going to work. You would want to talk to Patrick about that. So email me and I will give you his information and an introduction.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Professor,
Yes.
do you recommend us staying at UCR? Because I've talked to other teachers and they've all told me that if I can, to branch out of like this general area for business.
It all depends on what you want to do.
Okay.
The reason a lot of the professors tell you that is because they all went to different colleges. And if you're going to have a career in education, being a professor, they kind of want to see that type of thing. If you want to have a career in corporate world, I don't think they really care. So just depends on what your situation is.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Professor, I have a question for the grad school. I already applied for the master programs in UCR and some other schools, but eventually I'd like to go for a PhD and get my, and stay in education. So do you think that the story you just said is the same for the PhD position? So I can also apply for a PhD position now?
I don't think your chances of getting a PhD appointment at UCR are very good. They're about 3 years backed up right now. So the waiting list is 3 years long.
Oh.
You would probably want to talk to Patrick about that. I don't know if that's changed since all of this has gone, the COVID-19 thing. But when I was looking into it, it wasn't a good fit for me. So. So you might want to, I would look around. I would talk to Patrick, see what your options are there. For example, I looked at other colleges, so not Grossmont, Claremont colleges, I could have wrapped up a master's and a PhD all together in one, but it was going to cost me $150,000. So, there's you got to weigh your benefits of cost, education, reputation, where you want to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to go stay in education. And, the reason why I wanted to go directly for a PhD instead of having a master before was the cost, actually. So I thought that I might save some money if I go for a direct PhD. But if I want to pay that much money,
it all depends what you're going to do, because if you don't have a master's degree in that particular field that you're trying to get a PhD in, you're still going to have to take those classes. So instead of a PhD taking you 3 to 5 years, it's going to take you 5 to 7 years.
Oh, so it still takes the time. But still, if I'm a PhD program, I don't have to pay. I don't usually pay that much.
I don't know how exactly that works. That would be something you would want to do research on. And the different schools, like I said, most of the schools didn't offer a master's and PhD program together. Claremont did. All the other schools that I looked at did not.
Okay. Yeah, I already talked to some schools, like I called UCLA and I called Berkeley. They really want, if you don't have a master, they really want to see if you have any experience in research. I did some research as an undergrad in a university honors, and I worked as a research assistant with some professors here at UCR. So I have some research experience in my resume, but
that's the thing about the colleges, especially at the PhD level and schools like UCR. They're really heavily research based. So a lot of the professors at UCR don't teach, they just do research. So, or they'll teach one class here or there. So that's kind of like the mainstay of the UC system is they are research-based facilities. So who is it? One of the professors published a paper on the COVID-19. He's in the business department. I forget his name. Raj. Raj is the guy. So he did it with what's that?
Professor Singe?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, so that's the type of professors that they're really looking for. They want somebody that's heavily based in research. So
We have him for business 10. Well, that's for me.
yeah. So he teaches marketing and business classes. Great professor, really good guy. So that's, those are the type of things that they're looking for at the UC system. Now, with the state system, they're kind of different. In private colleges, they're still different. They're not so much heavily based on research as opposed to teaching students. I'm a lecturer. I'm not a PhD. I don't do research. I don't want to do research. I just want to teach. So that's kind of the difference. And I'm actually at the wrong school to do that at. So.
Professor, do you perhaps know if let's say UCR is taking application without GMAT, the other school are also doing the same?
I don't know anything about the other schools. I would imagine the UC systems are all in the same boat, considering most of the graduate students come from other countries overseas. So I would imagine they're doing the same thing.
I did the research in all of them. Only UCR and UC Irvine announced that. The rest, they just gave some extension